Y'all keep asking for this. All right, get into it. Working once more on the mock. Gonna do a little bit of work on it tonight. Finish it up, clean it up a little bit. Finish out, figure out what Darth Maul's doing exactly, and I may repeat that when someone joins on. Somewhere. I don't know where they are, honestly. All right. So I think today is going to be a really, really short one. We are just going to finish cleaning up the top and the walls a little bit. We're just gonna add a little bit more detail on the side here. Add a little bit on the top. The side, definitely gonna have some piping in it. Just gonna go up this wall. I don't know if I'm gonna tie it in or just make it end cap sort of. But yeah, figure that out. I had y'all asking for questions about if I was gonna do another Lego stream today. Need y'all to just go ahead and jump in. Jump on. Wait, holy crap. Holy crap. These are just the pieces I need. Been listening to way too much rap music today. Pipes. Just what I need. All right. So I really need to sort this bin out and figure out where all this stuff goes over in my dividers. Until then, I'll just keep digging through there for the stuff I need. So I'm thinking to finish this off, I might use this grate piece a little bit. Throw that in there somewhere. I also found out today, I had no idea. I tested this out with a friend while I was live streaming earlier. I found out that my chat is delayed because my video is extremely delayed. Now it isn't always delayed, it cut in and out, but half the time that you guys were watching me, you're watching something that I said like a minute ago. So that's why sometimes it take a while to respond to your chats. So, but because I read them as soon as they pop up, but you guys don't hear it until like a minute later. So if it seems like super delayed, that's what it is. But yeah, either way, welcome in, welcome in. Everybody leave a like, comment if you want to. Happy to have you. All right, so today we're just finishing this up. We're just cleaning this up, making it look nice. Got to add something to the end cap here, and then clean off the top a little bit, make that look better, and then figure out exactly what Maul's doing in there. So once we get that figured out, this will be complete, and we'll be able to go with the other two and make a complete series of mocks. So we'll see what we got going on. All right, so I think that you need to add piping due to a suggestion from last night's stream. Hey, what's up? Thanks for joining the chat. Oh man, I'm telling you earlier, it was weird, man. Earlier, my stream was weird. I'd been requested to do some IRL recently, vlog style stuff, which I've never done before, and I don't know. I may or may not go back and do more. I'm not sure. It's just a different type of vlog, a different type of live stream entirely from what I'm used to. So, all right, let's see here. We need, and I would love if any of y'all have any suggestions, just go ahead and might as well put it in the chat. And if I know how to do it, if it's something I think I can do that actually, if I like it, I will take it. Um, I did already take a suggestion for this, so I'm definitely willing to take suggestions. Had a Crazy night, crazy night. Came home and friends are calling me crazy because I was gonna get home and go straight to live stream, but I had people asking me to live, so here I am. Here I am. All right. Not exactly sure what all I want to do for this end cap, but I think I definitely said I need to add piping and I need to might add some sort of great piece to it. But the initial thought being that it just basically needs to make this look more industrial instead of just a blank wall over here. It just needs to clean that up and make that look more industrial. Um, and kind of tie in with the rest of it. So I'm going to do that to the top here. I'm going to add some wires and stuff like that and just smooth it off because the rest of the mock is very like cinematic looking, and I don't want it to be like you're looking at the scene cinematic and you go out and it's just a mess, just unattractive entirely. So I'm going to try and make it all just look a little bit better, a little bit more just combine and join together, a little more cohesive, I guess is the word I'm looking for. All right. So I think the next step being find pieces. There we go. All right. I also found out, sadly, my viewer count on my screen is entirely off. So I have no clue if I have any sort of audience ever. It'll say that I have no people. When I have some people, it'll say that yeah, honestly, I don't even know. It's confusing. It'll tell me I have nobody while I'm in the middle of a conversation with somebody. And it's like they keep going and then it'll kick in and it'll be like, oh wait, no, you actually do have one person. So I don't know. It's confusing. I wish it wasn't quite so lagged. If it says a number on there, then I know that I definitely had those people at some point in time, but it doesn't mean that's how many is currently watching. So if my thing says one person, very well, I could have zero people watching. And at the same time, it could say zero, and I actually already have another person watching. Like that's when it hurts to be so small. Is like if you're up past 100, and it's like, yeah, do you have 312 or 313? There's no difference. It doesn't matter. All right. So now got 2 likes. All right, let's go. Let's keep it up, guys. You're going to add stuff here. Um, Tell me if I should do something fun. If I should add like a quiz or questions or something, a poll up to the chat just to keep things fun for people who are joining in fresh. I've been thinking about that. I tried one earlier and it was just like the pre-written example, like, yeah, you should put this question up that YouTube gave me, and nobody answered it. Like nobody was having it. So I don't know. I'll just I don't follow YouTube suggestions anymore. Is clearly what viewers pop on to see from my channel is not what YouTube thinks they want to see. So I just keep doing my own thing, I guess. I'm just trying to figure it all out. I'm new to it all anyway, so the streaming side of things. Um, but my stream earlier today did okay. Wasn't the best. I had a lot of more random people jump on instead of usually when I do these streams, my Lego stuff. I have a lot of just my normal followers pop on to see stuff. Whereas with earlier today, it was a lot of new people, so that was kind of cool. The difference being you get a lot more interesting messages for sure when it's not your normal group and it's all new people. Because when you get your normal group, everyone kind of knows what the vibe is. All right. So I'm thinking we can find a way to end cap this real nice. We can make this look real smooth. And the problem being, so originally I was going to add a ceiling, but I just think that would make the scene too dark and you wouldn't be able to look into it the same way. Like I like being able to look at it from this angle and not have to see if the roof is like covering any part of it. So I'm going to leave that open and not add a roof. I am going to finish that top off though and make that look really nice. So I'm thinking I was gonna add this, but I feel like that'd be too colorful to add the yellow. I don't know because everything else is like gray with a little bit of red. So probably won't add the yellow in there. I might add some more red though. Keep things vibrant. Lots of great and panel pieces. Lots and lots of greats. Like right now, it's asking me if I want to add a Q&A sticker. And I'm not going to, especially because their suggestion of a Q&A sticker is asking about favorite part about holiday meals. And it's like YouTube has some of the worst suggestions for polls and stuff like that to put up. Like it's a Lego stream. I'm having a conversation with people. No one's gonna want to answer this poll about favorite part about a holiday meal. Like as advanced as their AI is, you'd think that it would be able to come up with questions that were related to your stream because the algorithm is certainly capable of pulling stuff up based on what you're watching. So you would think, you would think, even down to like if you're selling stuff on, say, eBay, eBay now has all AI stuff where it's able to look at the pictures and determine what you're selling and come up with a category, a description, all that kind of stuff for your product. So if they can do that, I feel like the AI should be able to come up with a question that's somewhat related to what you're streaming about. But it is what it is. I don't know. I might start putting up my own questions though. If it keeps people entertained, it gives them something to answer if they're coming in and um I'm talking about something else, or maybe I'm not talking a lot at all at the time. Then it gives them something to talk about, start up a conversation. All right. Not really sure what to do for the greebling on the side of this piece. I think I'm just going to keep it simple this time and not try and do anything overly complicated. I feel like the problem when I do complicated stuff, it's just like I don't need to spend too much time on a side piece. This is a side panel. All it's doing is making the build look more cohesive and not quite as bland. So anything that has flavor at this point is better than what it was. So this is what I have so far, just building it to look like a panel, like an actual piece. Kind of like the greebling they used on I mean it's technically on the boxes of Star Wars sets now, but they also use it in the Death Star set and stuff like that. Hey man, what's up? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Just doing some mock building right now, finishing up a series. I've been doing a series on Dark Side mocks, and I started with the smallest size, and I've worked my way up, and this is the final one. So this is actually the largest size because I was challenging myself to do some small, like really small ones. So I'm just finishing this up, making it look nice and clean. The past couple ones, this was the very first one I did, and then last night's stream I finished on, or maybe that was the day before. Didn't have a ton of stream time last night. I did this. So battle is an arm. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so funny because the people that have been watching my streams recently are big Star Wars fans, but a lot of them have not seen all the way through Clone Wars yet. So they don't actually, I'll be making references to this scene and they have no idea what I'm talking about. All right. So right now, what I'm working on is I'm just adding some greebling. I'm trying to make this sidewall look a little less bland over here. So I'm just working on this panel that's going to stick there because I have studs there. And I'm just finishing this up. I think I'm just going to add a nice simple slope at the end here. I have a little bit of piping going on. I'm going to add more pipes to the top. Not really sure what that piece would be. My Legos are a little unsorted, a little unorganized right now. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Noon tomorrow. Awesome. I will watch it as soon as I can. I do have work, but I shouldn't be in work yet, so try and watch it for sure. Follow the hey, there's nothing wrong with following the instructions. For a long time, that was all I did. But I appreciate it, man. I spend a lot of time practicing on mocks, and well, I have spent a lot of time, and now I don't have as much free time to devote to Legos anymore. But what I do have, I just like to sit here and build. I find it very peaceful, and I actually started losing my fire for a little bit, and I rekindled that fire with live streaming. I found that having somebody there who's watching it and sees, kind of the fruit of my labor, who's giving me advice and support and feedback on what looks good and what looks bad as I'm building it helps to keep the fire going. So just kind of got me back into mock building, and I've wanted to do this scene for a while, so happy to finally get to do a Darth Maul scene. I will say. All right. Your video tomorrow, are you able to say whether or not it is Halo or Star Wars, or is that confidential until it drops? After the end cap there, have some piping and whatnot, just make that all look nice and neat, nice and fluid. Need some pipes. This. How do I attach these? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Using snot for flooring, I have not officially. I've tried it, but I haven't done a full mock like that yet. Well, I did one. I did one a long time ago, and it turned out terrible. But I would love to try some of that again. I just need more. Um, I think I need to get there's some more. I don't have a lot of uh like single stud pieces, like 1x4s and stuff like that. Which I don't like to make the floor like a by two brick. I just feel like that's too much. But I might try that again. I don't know. It's both. All right. All right. I'm excited. Yeah, I definitely tried some new stuff with this build though. With the wall panels, because I don't know honestly if it looks right or not, but those panels in Star Wars that have the lights in the wall and they're the lines at random intervals, and these are a snot technique, so those pop out like that. That's how I built those, because I thought that was at least the best I could do. So yeah, medication time. Hmm. All right, all right. Be thinking about that, pondering what that means for quite a while now. Probably won't figure it out. All right. Let's see. Got this over here. I don't know if I'll ever turn this into. I don't know why I have this. It's just a random green sitting over here. I need to clean this space off. It's so messy right now. Custom website decal. Yeah. Yeah, that would probably be smart. I personally I've always I don't know why I've just never been into decaling my pieces. And custom decals, but I probably should consider it. Like if I just buy some extra bricks to use and then I know I'm going to put the decals on, that would probably work best just because it's difficult to make. It doesn't always look right. And for long hallways, you'd have to have a lot of them. And I just don't have the pieces for that. And it'd probably look a lot more smooth doing the decals. So honestly, I haven't heard that audio in my feed yet. I don't know if that it just doesn't always come up or if that means I live under a rock. I have no clue. Evan, what is up? Do not have to use the Mr. at all. I'm not that old. You're older than me, so it's a little bit deceiving. I agree. Printed pieces are always better. Always, always, always. And I love so as much as I like the idea of decals, I think that one, you have the problem of the decal peeling, obviously. And then I think that also there is something about pushing yourself to try and find a way to build something that doesn't already exist. And obviously there are certain things that just can't be built. Sometimes you have a certain sign or something that you like, you want to build it and there's just no way to build that out of the pieces that Lego provides to make it look accurate. And so there are places where decals have a place for sure, but I think the most useful being like signposts and things like that. All right. So I think now finish that up. I need to finish on the top here. Not sure if I like or dislike right here this piece. I just added it up there early as part of the design, and I'm not sure if it kind of intrudes or if it'll just blend right in. I don't know. Not sure what to think about that piece. All right. Let's see here. Dude, let me show you. Let me show you. I mean, I trust you and I believe you, but like mine is a complete mess, dude. And the sad thing being like not all of it is just what's out on the table, but like I normally have all my pieces sorted like this, and I've just got this like there's just so much stuff right now that needs to be sorted out and cleaned. It's crazy. It's an absolute mess. Thought I was an immortal titan. Might be onto something there. You never know. I don't reveal my secrets. All right. Man, I feel like my voice is a little off. Just got back from a cookout event, and there was a lot of talking going on. A lot of talking. Not to mention, me and my friend were doing a joint live stream earlier, and we were streaming for like an hour straight outside, and there was lawn equipment, so I had to speak louder anyways. So yeah, my voice is a little iffy tonight. A little bit on edge. Like it's just gonna crack at some random point. Looks a little too old and abandoned kind of stuff. I need. Someone have these. Going to have. Okay. I need to know if you think I should have the wires going across the top of the build like that. Like if I should have wires that are actually across the top of the build from piece to piece. I feel like that could be cool. Have to. Iron Brick back again. Back again. What is up? Glad you could join. All right. Thanks. Yeah, everyone's joining in for this one. This one's the popular one. Feelings of the Venator flush. Um, so I get that. My thought being this is the scene when Darth Maul is tearing stuff apart, and in the one scene you even see him walking and there's sparks that fall down behind him. And my thought being that like obviously if he's ripping stuff apart, if things are sparking, that means that there's loose wiring somewhere. So that was kind of where I thought I'd add that in. So the wire. Just trying to add detail, just trying to add in when where just make it not look quite as dry cut when he uses the wall panel as a shield. That was actually originally going to be this scene, was him using the force to hold up the two panels. The problem with that being I didn't just want Darth Maul holding up panels. That wasn't I didn't want to just do that because that felt too boring to me. And I was gonna have him throwing the one to decapitate the guy, and I couldn't figure out how to do that. And I was too lazy to try and continue figuring out. And I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna show him just absolute carnage throughout the set. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I might add the panel back in. I'm toying with either having him have one of the panels or using the force from this clone. So I'm gonna try both and see which one you guys like better, but I'm gonna finish doing this first. All right. So if I did add some wires, I would have to then, the way I would do it probably would be maybe make the scene a little bit bulkier and use these bricks with the stud in the side, it's not bricks, and bulk the entire ceiling up to a brick high. Um, But that might add I'm not sure if that would add too much or if that would give it the right feel, like, considering it is a Venator, it's very big, like, that might just be right. Not sure. I'll try with the wire, see what we think, see what it looks like, and burying the dead. Okay, okay. You know, so I have a friend who knows the names, like, all the different Star Wars songs. I love Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars geek. It just is what it is. I was just talking to someone about that tonight. Um, but I have such a hard time remembering the names of like all the songs. Like I know like Anakin Suffering, Imperial March, obviously, or Vader's theme song, whatever you want to call it. Um, but yeah, yeah. Actually, tonight I was just talking with someone. We've started being friends, but I met her because she's good friends with my good friend. So friend of a friend, and we were sitting there tonight, and he hadn't shown up yet. And so he's been trying to get her to watch Star Wars because she's never seen it before. And so she brought it up to me. She's like, "Yeah, he's been trying to convince me to watch Star Wars." I was like, "Trust me, you don't want to get me started. Him and me." I said, "If you listen to our conversation, he will probably bring up Star Wars at some point." And he walks in, and the first sentence he says to me is about Star Wars, which was totally by accident. But I'm so glad it happened because it just proved to her. She looked at us like we were insane. He was actually reminding me that I'm now legally old enough to join the 501st Volunteer Legion, which is awesome. And I didn't even think about that. Is it as cool as your Lego flowers? I don't know. That's pretty hard to compete with. Pretty hard to compete with the flowers. I'm gonna have to say this is cooler by just a little bit. No offense to the flowers. No offense to the flowers. Yeah, I don't know if I like the wires. I feel like maybe if I do, I'm just gonna do one wire. I feel like doing anything more is too much, but I'm not sure if I like it because I feel like you're missing something and you'd want to add like a whole ceiling in there if you have the wire. The asteroid field. Okay. Okay. What is that like the scene when Han flies the Falcon into the asteroid field? Is that what that's supposed to be from? Yeah, I'm sure you'd have a great time. My group is honestly, I got very lucky with my group. All of my friends are, that sums it up, man. People fly in space and go pew pew. That is Star Wars right there. That is Star Wars. All right, let me see. Dude, I have a second one of these now. Okay. Yeah, when I was talking to her, and we're still going. Yes, I did hear that one. That the where they bring in the Imperial March parts. It's insane. It's insane. But yeah, I was trying to explain Star Wars to the friend that I mentioned, and I was trying to explain how much of a nerd I am and how I spend too much time on it. And I explained that I can name the clone legions, and she said, "I don't know what clones are." I kind of looked at her and I was like, "Yeah, it's to be expected." And she says, "I know that there's Darth Vader, and I think he has a red lightsaber." And that was right when our mutual friend walked in. And yeah, yeah, it's kind of funny because we spend all this time looking at Star Wars stuff, and then when you meet someone who doesn't know much about Star Wars, like my friend Hero of Time, uh, it's like you tend to forget like it's very complicated to look at it from the outside. It's like, dude, there's so much there. But when you're involved in it, you're like, it doesn't feel like there's that much. Like there's not a ton. Bricks and games, back with bricks and games. Wait, so is it still Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is it still you on 2 separate accounts, or is it you and Camden? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's always you jumping on or if Camden jumps on sometimes. This Okay. Alright, good to know. All right. So I'm not sure how much I want to do for the top. I feel like, yeah, I know you guys share bricks and games. I just wasn't sure if he ever jumped on. Um, so use the marketing account. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I knew it was only you on the other account, but I wasn't sure if on bricks and games if he any of the time because there have been once or twice where bricks and games has been the one to leave a comment, and I wasn't sure if that was him or if it was always you on both accounts. New videos are awesome, by the way. I love what you guys have been putting out the past couple of days. Animation is peak. Okay, okay, yeah, makes sense. All right, so I think for the top of this, I'm going to keep it fairly simple. I might do some sloping though. I might add some sort of slopes in here. All right, man. See you when you get back. Clones are bored in the acclimator. Oh, wait. Yeah, I know the scene you're talking about. Okay, okay, I'll have to check that out. Dude, you know your way around the music. That's for sure. That's awesome. Because the music of Star Wars plays such a big part. Like if you think about it, if they took away if they took away the music, like Star Wars, it would still be pretty good, but it just adds so much to the movies. Yeah, yep, at the very end there. I know exactly what scene you're talking about. Yeah, the music is amazing. The music honestly is perfect. That's any movie though. Any movie, like because I've watched movies that have a lacking soundtrack and you can pick up on it pretty easy. Like it just you have to have a very specific type of movie uh to be able to get by on a small soundtrack. Disgustingly educated in Star Wars. Yeah, that describes me and my friend honestly. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. Like that dude, that sounds awesome, first of all. Going to an ESB concert, that yeah, absolutely. All right. So I don't know. I was gonna make it. I'm trying to think this through. Clearly my mind is not Legoing tonight. I was going to make this an inverted slope, kind of like right, like use these slopes that are going up and have it come out, which I kind of like that. But I don't have any corner slopes like that, which is going to bug my OCD when I'm building it if it doesn't have a clean corner. And I do think I have, I don't know if I have any left. I think I have, yes, okay. I can just use this. Um, for the normal slopes, I have a corner piece. So wait, in time with it. That's impressive. That's awesome because that doesn't leave you with much room for a break either. That's crazy. All right, so I think I'm gonna have to do it normal slopes, just because I really like how that corner looks. I feel like I feel like slopes are the right choice here. All right, let's go with. Do I have the slopes out? I don't think I do. Intermission, right? Lord of the Rings soundtrack, dude. That's Lord of the Rings soundtrack and Star Wars soundtrack. They are on another level. telling you though, honestly, I was true. You know, there's so much good music out there. Like, what's funny to me is I'm not a big instrumental guy, but you throw in like Zelda stuff, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, some of the best music in all of existence, instrumental or otherwise. Like that stuff is amazing. It's beautiful. Um, and I think the thing is like people take that stuff for granted because it's the movie that's or it's the sound that's in the back of the movie. Like it gets pushed to the back because it is just the music, right? Like at the end of the day, the dialogue is what everyone comes for. That's what everyone's listening for. But it just it gets forgotten so often. Music really makes or breaks it. And I think that so I was just watching the other day, I was watching Interstellar um, for the first time actually with a friend, and we were commenting on how good the soundtrack is because it really is such an emotionally driven soundtrack, and it's different, honestly. Wait, like you'll play it on the piano? That's awesome. I would love to be able to play some of the Zelda songs. Lucasfilm Boba Fett will always be better than Mando. Okay, I agree for the most part. I agree for the most part. I think that Boba Fett the problem being that you like Boba Fett was always a cool character, but he didn't get to be nearly as cool until Lucasfilm came around and made him his own sideshow. Like I'm gonna be honest, just because of how little screen time we got, like the coolest parts of Boba Fett were all the legend stuff, like comic books, all the side quests for Boba Fett. That was where he was always cool. But never in the actual movies, like he was cool, but he didn't do much. He just kind of stood there most of the time. Oh, absolutely, man. That would be awesome. I would love to see some clips of that. All right. Okay, I don't think Disney ruined Boba. Like, agree to disagree on that. Boba can kick butt. The only part that I think was dumb, I'm gonna be honest, the worst Boba Fett moment in all of I mean, Disney ruined a lot of things. You were right. I think that any Mandalorian side quest they have, though, honestly, is better than anything else that they do. Well, okay. Disney didn't ruin everything because all their animated stuff is amazing. All of it. I don't care what anyone says. Literally, even down to like people make fun of Resistance all the time, just because it was based for a lower age group, like it's amazing for the age group they were gearing it towards. In my opinion, it's some of the best that we'll ever get from the sequel movies because the sequels are terrible in my opinion. But I think that show, in all honesty, was better than the movies. But no, I think Boba Fett's worst Disney scene is when he's fighting with what's her name, the girl that is Bo-Katan's sidekick, and she starts to overpower Boba Fett. Like that just doesn't happen, man. That's just not how it should have worked. Like, why does she start to overpower Boba Fett? Like, have you seen the dude? Like, he's built. He talked too much. He's a dictator, dude. That's what he does. He has to talk. Boba Fett, this guy, this guy right here, he's a bounty hunter. And he was one of the original characters, like from the first Star Wars movies. And since Disney took over, they've really been exploring his storyline, and it's highly debated. So personally, I love Book of Boba Fett. It's a very debated show, though. No, I get what you're saying. Legends Boba Fett is the best Boba Fett we can get, in my opinion. But I mean, I still don't think it makes sense, man. I still don't think it makes sense. Like in my opinion, I just yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like the problem being that if you look at them size comparison, like it just the because the armor it doesn't do anything. Like, if you look at them, this man is clearly way stronger. Like, he's just built, dude. Boba Tea. Did you guys see the meme circling where someone took the new Boba Tea Lego piece and put it on a Boba Fett body, and it's Boba Tea? It's hilarious. I don't know if that's what you're referencing or not. My friend sent that to me the other day. I hadn't seen it yet, and it was hilarious. I'm wondering, does this work? Oh, it does work. Well, let's be honest. Legends is kind of crazy. Legends did some things to some characters that it just, if it wasn't Legends, like if all of it was canon, Star Wars would be so incredibly different right now. And there's a lot of stuff I wish that was canon from Legends, and then there's also stuff that I'm glad was left out. Oh, that makes sense though. Okay, yeah. I mean, well, I was just having this conversation with someone the other day about Legends, how Legends made characters different. They, like Luke Skywalker, he might be, he's a cool character, sure. Okay, Luke in the originals was really cool. Now they messed him up in the sequels, but Luke that everyone brags about, that's like everyone who's like, Luke is the best Jedi. They're talking about Legends Luke. They're talking about the Luke that could use Force lightning and stuff, not the Luke that, is a hermit somewhere. Disney can't ruin Ninjago. Listen, Disney could if they could get their hands on it, but we won't let them. We won't let them touch that stuff, man. We won't let them touch that stuff. Look, I'm sorry. I know this is controversial. Me and my friends have had arguments about this a lot. Dragons Rising. So at first, I'm gonna be honest. At first, I thought it was trash, and now I think it may not. It may not be as trash as I thought, but it's also not as good as classic Ninjago. Dude, I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it. I I have mixed feelings about the whole She-Hulk thing. Like, I think it's funny, but I also find it just like I don't even know, dude. She-Hulk is just it's different. It's different. Cause like to some extent, I think it's really funny. But a lot of the stuff that I think funny, people find me they're like, "Oh, well, you don't support that there is a girl version of the Hulk." And I'm like, "No, I just find it funny." Like I've had a lot of people get angry at me for the things that I find funny. So it's always been like controversial for me. Alright. Maybe I should watch it. I'm gonna be honest with you all. I've seen 2 Marvel movies ever. Only 2. Only 2. I've seen Thunderbolts and the new Spider-Man. Those are the only 2 that I've watched completely. Like I've seen parts of other ones and I've read enough stuff that I know what happens in them. I'm interested in Marvel, like Marvel's cool. I've just never sat down and watched any of the movies all the way through except for those 2. Dude, I want to. I want to see a lot of I want to see a lot of the original Marvel movies. Honestly, I want to watch every Spider-Man. And I will say, out of my knowledge of Spider-Man, I've watched, even though I haven't watched all the movies, I've seen a lot of clips and stuff. And um, Andrew Garfield is the worst Spider-Man out there. Not that he's particularly bad at playing it, but everyone else is so good that it makes him look bad. I agree that Brand New Day was peak. Um, wait, The Punisher has a TV show? I did not know that. I did not know that. Honestly, I was told by someone else that, um, dude, Garfield, Tobey Maguire is second best. Tom Holland is best, but like, it just you can't beat Tom Holland. But Tobey Maguire, he's better than Andrew Garfield. I'm sorry, sorry. Okay, that's one of the things I dislike most about him is his hair, dude. I His hair is just so funny to me because it doesn't feel like to me it just never felt like Spider-Man. That's the difference for me. Isn't about the actor and how good their acting is. It's about the fact that Tom Holland feels like Spider-Man to me. Watching all of them side by side, he feels how Spider-Man should feel. He fits the role. And Stan Lee said so himself after watching it. He said, "This is the type of person I envisioned when I wrote Spider-Man." And I feel like for the creator of Spider-Man to say that, that's kind of like it's a pretty big indication that that's who you should be looking out for. So, and my dad had never seen a Tom Holland Spider-Man film in his life. Before this, he had no clue what Tom Holland was like in a Spider-Man role. And after he watched that, he was like, "I agree." He said Tom Holland is definitely the best Spider-Man. Before that, he was totally a McGuire fan. When it came to Spider-Man, that was his opinion on the best Spider-Man. Amazing kills in the TV show. I'll have to watch it, dude. I have so much Marvel to watch. Like everyone keeps telling me I need to watch Marvel. I need to get to it. Got so much other stuff I've been watching lately. It's like the best build up. Well, yeah, and from what I've from what I have seen, from what I've heard, I think that for I don't know, I'll say it like this. For people who have described it to me who are fans of all of them, they say that the best part of gotta go. All right, man. Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it, man. Always up to have a good conversation anytime. And I just appreciate you jumping on, getting on the chat and talking with us for a little bit. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Watch each Marvel movie. Yeah, so there is so many Marvel movies. Because if you say watch every Marvel movie, like that's crazy. The MCU is huge. Like people say Star Wars is confusing. Dude, the MCU is just another thing entirely. It's its own thing entirely. I don't understand. I mean, I understand how people can get into it because once you throw in like legends and stuff into Star Wars, it starts to get really confusing. But yeah, if I were to build a mock for some mock for Marvel, that would be awesome. Yeah, I should be good. I should be able to do it. The Zelda movie coming out. So I think that the Zelda movie is I don't have an opinion yet because everyone's saying that Link should be mute because he doesn't really speak in the games. But I also don't want to watch a movie where the main character doesn't speak because that sounds boring. In all honesty, and I want to hear Link speak. Like he talks in the comics, we know he can talk, and you get responses in the game. Like people respond to what you say, you just don't hear him say it. You don't because nobody actually speaks. It's all text bubbles. So personally, I can't wait. I'm excited. I really just want to see a CGI Guardian. Like I really hope it's Breath of the Wild, but I don't think it's Breath of the Wild. Is it? I think it's more towards like a little bit of the older style stuff. But if I got to see a Guardian, I would have been so happy. But I haven't been staying super up to date with the updates on that movie yet. I was back when it was first announced and they weren't releasing anything. Just the sounds. That would be so funny. It's like they hand him the script and he's like, "These aren't actual words." You're like, "Yeah, no, that's what you say. That's literally just the script for the entire movie. That's all you say." We'd have to learn an entirely different kind of acting for that, man. All right. I might keep it like that, honestly. Honestly. Let me spit up here. It's a stud off. Dang, nabbit. Okay. Going to add some piping up here. Where use this? Yeah, honestly, that was a really cool short, by the way. I was showing that to Saffron Tool. He loved that. That was hilarious. Loved it. You should do more Zelda stuff because like there's not a lot of it out there, and I think people would love to see it. Like literally, Link could just stand there though. He's so cool. I don't know about y'all. My favorite version of Link is Twilight Princess, specifically the comic books. Link is just so cool in those comic books. Like he genuinely is just amazing. Hmm. Oh, that's a problem. Right. Yeah, I get that. You definitely want to put out what's best for the channel. I did see a comment the other day. I thought I saw a comment on there that said you should keep doing more Zelda stuff. So I don't know. Maybe you'll start to rally some support for the Zelda stuff. Honestly, though, your stop motion, whatever you do, it's always awesome. So it's like just love seeing the stop motion. I was supposed to be part of a stop motion challenge that was taking place, and I forgot to make the stop motion because I needed to really sit down and spend some time on it because it's been like a year since the last time I touched a uh any sort of stop motion set or anything or that the app. So I was supposed to, and then I started one day and I realized I needed more practice, and I ended up not making anything, and the deadline is tomorrow. So yeah, I had this really cool idea that did not work out because I don't have the equipment for it. I do not have half of what I used to use for stop motion. And the idea was actually going to be a really serious video about clones, and it was going to start with a clone waking up in the morning, and then it was going to cut through different flashbacks, and it was going to be like him in war and all these like brutal scenes, and it would keep cutting from like the brutal war scenes to him just standing there like next to his bed, uh, and just him having to deal with that, and then it would just be him getting deployed into the next battle, and that was where it was going to end. It was kind of going to just show like the mental stress that they have to go through of fighting battle after battle, in this war. And I realized that was way above my skill level. So I had the cinematic, everything planned out in my head, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm just not that skilled. Thanks, thanks. I have a lot of cinematic ideas. I have a lot of stuff that I'm like, I would love to do this, and then I just don't know how. I don't have the skill. All right, man. I'm ending this in about 6 minutes, so if my phone doesn't die first. So if you're not back before then have a good rest of your night. But if you are back before then, I will see you soon. All right, I need a 1 by 1 piece. No, that does not work. Okay. No. There we go. Trying to figure out how to add this wiring up here. And thinking I'm just going to do some. Wait. Dang nabbit. What if? Nah, I should probably just leave it like that, though. Might be too much. I can actually take this wiring off. I feel like it's overkill. It's a little bit overkill. I'm just going to do this right here. So this is what I have, right? I've edged it off with some slopes now. Still got the red in there by the doorway. So I think now I don't know. I kind of feel like for some reason looking at it on camera, it feels like the light gray takes it down a notch, but I don't feel like it actually does. I just feel like it was the way the camera was looking at it. It's the light gray in contrast with the dark gray. Um, let's see, and then that might be all I do for the top, other than add some tiles to it. Honestly, so many brick pieces, way too much money spent. Um, and I don't have enough. I for the stuff that's the size that I actually want to build, I would need so many more, like literally hundreds of dollars worth more. You get you can get about 100 of these for. I could probably spend $200 and be very happy, have like a lot, because you can get about, unless the price has gone up, you get 21 of these for, or 100 of these rather, for $21. And so 21 for 100, but when you look at a pile of 100 of these, it's not nearly as many as you thought. Especially when you start putting them into a build and you're like, you get 100 of them and you're like, I can build a small box. Like that's it. To build stuff to scale, you need so many more, hundreds and hundreds of them. So I would like to get at least 500 more, at least. Um, and the problem though is you're tempted to just spend money on that one type of piece and build. But if you just get just plain 2x4s, everything you build is going to look like a freaking square the entire time. Like you need the detail pieces too. And that's why it takes so much money. All right, man. Thanks for joining in. I was really, really happy to talk to you. That was a great conversation. The Spider-Man, it's so funny. I've never seen a Marvel movie before a month ago. And now every time I'm on here, it's like people want to talk Marvel with me. But see you, man. I might be streaming again later this week. We'll see. I have work picking up now every day for the rest of the week, so we'll see if I can fit one in. All right, so gonna throw in some tiling for sure. See, I'm gonna finish off with the dark gray. So, my day was so busy. Just sitting here thinking back on this past day that I've had, and I was like, man, stuff that I did that it's like, dang, I was this morning. That's what happens when you spend the entire day out doing stuff. It's like you get back home, you realize there's so much stuff you forgot to do, and it's all kicking in now. I'm like, dang it, we got around to that. All right, well, get this tiled off real quick. Like so. More of these. Starting school this Tuesday. Man, I don't know when I'm starting. I've got to because I'm not doing full time college, but I am going to be taking a small class on the side. But I did read that you don't have to start if it's a small side class. Like I don't need to start at the same time everyone else is starting, especially because it's like an online class. So I know there's not as much of a rush. So we will see when I start. I'm not sure. Um, and I got to get a laptop first. I did not have one. Are you looking forward to it or dreading it? What's the general emotion towards it? Wait, seriously, the audio quality went down? Hang on. Is it back to normal or is it still really low? Really low quality. 'Cause if it's still down, then I think either it's just a glitch with the microphone or my earbud died and switched to my phone quality. So I'm not sure my phone microphone quality. I'm not sure which one it is. It's back to normal. Okay. Must have just been a glitch. All right. Finally, for this here, go. Let's put one of these in there. All right. Finished tiling that off. Dreading it. Yeah, I get that. Going back to school is not fun. All right. Here is the mock. I think I am done streaming for the night. I'm gonna head out, get some sleep. I'm gonna watch a little bit of TV and then get some sleep for tomorrow. So this is almost done. I'm just gonna figure out the last little bit with the figures in here, and then this will finally be done. I'll probably finish that off of stream, and that'll be the end of this series for these. So I'll need to figure out something to do for my next series of streams, something else to build. But there will definitely be videos coming out on my channel for each of the mocks that I built in this series. So the three that I built, very happy with all three of them. Very happy with how they all turned out. For the different sizes, honestly, I'm very surprised that I was able to make anything work for the small size. It's easy because you don't have to pack that much into it. It's hard finding the middle ground for one that's small but big enough that it'll feel empty if it doesn't have anything. So I'm very pleased with how they all turned out, especially this Darth Maul one. So yeah, I will post videos once I've got all the figures completely figured out what they're doing in there. So all right, that is all for today's streaming. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I will have to figure out another series to do, and then I'll be back on streams again someday. But gonna take a bit to figure out. Probably not tomorrow. Tomorrow's an insanely busy day, but I might. We'll see what tomorrow night looks like. Because no one joins in the middle of the day half the time. You start a stream in the middle of the day, and it's just like people aren't up to it. Random people will join, but none of my subscribers ever want to join in the middle of the day. And the random people are most of the time only a couple of them ever stay. Most of them are very turned away by Legos. So today when I did that vlog style, that was the most random people I've ever had watching one of my live streams. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Some nights I feel like it, some nights I don't. Last night I was very tired. Tonight I'm kind of hyped up on caffeine because I had a couple Pepsis. So I'm not sure if I'm actually doing good or if I'm just like super hyperactive for you guys right now. Cause honestly kind of tired, like underneath all the caffeine. So I don't know. All right, well I'm gonna go. I'm gonna head out for the night, guys. So peace out. I will catch you guys later.